What's going on, everybody? Charmanyard here, and it's been a while since I've done one of these Rainbow Six videos, and today I'm finally going to get into my speculation towards the Brazilian operators. So just to kind of make this a little bit more concise and a little bit more accurate than I've done in the past, I'm going to focus on one SWAT team in particular and just branch out from that, go through some concept art that we've seen, a voice line that apparently is the Brazilian operator voice line. I do not know personally. I'll get into that later. So let's jump right into it. The team that I believe that the Rainbow Six will cover is known as the BOPE, and they're basically the Brazilian Special Police Force. They're the Brazilian SWAT teams who are most famous for fighting drug cartels and militia inside the favelas of Brazil, specifically Rio de Janeiro. Now, they really went into the limelight a year or two back when the World Cup was held in Brazil. They basically were just kind of going through the favelas, going through different scenarios on just in case something bad happens in the soccer stadiums, inside the stadiums, outside the stadiums, with players and such like that. And they're really more infamous than famous. These guys are certified BAMFs. They go in, shoot first, ask questions later kind of people. There's a lot of news articles for killing civilians, for just kind of torturing and murdering these criminals, you know, giving them no due process, just kind of going in, Punisher style, cleaning up the mess, and then getting the hell out of there. So first, I'm going to talk about the potential type of map we might get, and really, it's just kind of narrowed down to two things. The first is, of course, what everybody wants is just a favela. Tight corners, urban environment, some cars like an APC in the back for the assault team spawn, a lot of different vantage points and just rooms scattered around, and of course, because it's a favela and a lot of it is just kind of shacky and shady and shitty construction, we want so much of it to just be destructible. Explosions happening everywhere. You have to barricade certain walls. You really have to think tactically, you know, where are they going to come from? Where are they possibly going to be able to breach through or, you know, make a hole to get like a kill zone in? And I really would be so excited to see a favela. I think a lot of people are really voting for favela to be up there and be whatever they do for the map. But at the same time, the second type of map they could do, which I actually prefer out of these two, is a soccer stadium. Now, hear me out. Let's say it's not an entire stadium. That'd be just ridiculous. But let's say the assaulting team comes out on the field and they work their way through either rappelling up the high rises and going into the stands, the VIP stands and such, and then make their way from the top to the bottom. You can go straight through the player entrance and the player exit and kind of hit them from the basement up, or you can just go up the stairs and go right through the middle. Inside, it would still be a tight, confined, or a large environment, actually. It'd be the opposite of the favela, because it's a sports stadium. You don't want things to be cramped. You want large rooms, not too much cover, a lot of metal, a lot of different little choke points, kill spots, and a lot of different areas to run through. I think it'd be really cool to see a soccer stadium. It'd be something we haven't seen in a while. I think it's even been, years since a Rainbow Six has done some type of hostage rescue from like a sports stadium or something, if I'm not mistaken. So past that, let's get into the type of weaponry that we might see with the new operators. So I'm not going to go into the old stuff that we have. There's a bunch of articles. There's a PDF file that I have. There's a Vice documentary and a BBC documentary. My own research has come from mostly video from these type of documentaries. So all the new weapons that we have seen, or at least that I've seen in these things, I will link them below in the description, are things that I've seen in the video, weapons that the soldiers, or not the soldiers, the policemen, are actually holding in their hands. One is holding, it is known as the Taurus PT-92. It's like a silver, almost looks like a silver baller from Hitman. And I really would like to see this in the game. You know, it looks different. It's really cool. It almost looks like a militia gun. I'd love to see like a defender have it, and the defender be kind of decked out in like the black armor, but have a bandana over his mouth. Just kind of like really militiaman type of look. And it's actually, the Taurus PT-92 was made in Brazil and was manufactured in Brazil. So it would make sense to give them a Brazilian gun for the Brazilian operators. Along with that, we have the Uzi, not the MAC-10, not the MAC-11, but the big, I used to protect Ronald Reagan Uzi. It'd be nice to see a new submachine gun in the game that really is just kind of used for mid-range spraying down the enemy and just suppress them rather than a pocket sniper rifle like the MAC-10. Cough, cough. So past that, there really isn't anything too different that they could add in that aspect. They might add one or two pistols that are kind of like a recoloring and rehashing of something else, but I'll get to that in a second. So let's go into the primary weapons. Really, the two main things that stand out that I would love to see are the FN Fall. If you played Call of Duty, you know what that is. Versatile mid-range, mid-damage rifle, at least I would put it that way in the game, and have it so you can switch between fully automatic, burst fire, semi-automatic. Because the FN FAL is basically a nice DMR to have, especially in a game like this, especially in a favela, if that's the map. You're just going to want something to get through walls, get through windows quickly so you can get your team into certain areas and, assess the situation from the inside. The second, the H&K G3. We've all seen the G3 in various Call of Duty games. Again, it's pretty much the exact same as the FN FAL would be. Mid-range assault rifle, switching between the fire modes, semi-automatic, fully automatic. And I'm going to add something here that's my own research that I really couldn't decide on. Some potential weapons they could add into the game. Maybe some shotguns, maybe like a really powerful but slow pump-action shotgun that just fucking destroys environments. That'd be really cool to have. It'd be like a nice, like, urban, just worn-down shotgun. And then maybe a Glock. It'd be interesting to see a Glock 17, the semi-automatic version, or even the Glock 18, and just have a full auto pistol for someone to use. So now we're going to go into the voice line. So there are, supposedly, I'm doing air quotes now, leaked voice line. And basically the voice line says, ladder going up. I personally can't tell the accent that the person has. It's basically split down the middle. Half the people argue it's Brazilian, half the people argue that it's Japanese. I have no idea. Now, this could be the new gadget that we see in the game. We could be able to see a ladder for the defending team. And it would make sense for a defender to have it, because why would you really need a ladder as an offensive character unless you're going through the second floor panel that got blown up? I think it's interesting if the defenders have it, because then they can get to other spots. Not really exploit spots, but let's say there's a little apartment ledge you can go to, but you can't jump to it. You get on top of there and you can see the entire bottom row of the favela, but you're just kind of standing up out there in the open. You really can't do anything. And you really can't escape, because if you drop down, you're going to be slowed. If you drop down to the left, let's say you just fall off the map, or you fall and break your hip and kill yourself. So, with the gadgets, this is probably the hardest part to do research on, because I have absolutely no fucking clue what they're going to add to this game. When we saw Buck and when we saw Frost, until we saw the little leaked icons, I'm pretty sure a lot of people really had no clue. It was all just like maple syrup guns or maple syrup grenades. So for the Brazilian people, I have no idea. You put a bandana on, become invisible. Who knows? Personally, I would like to see them kind of make it a little bit interesting and just kind of go above and beyond with it. Let's say, people have been wanting a motion sensor in this game since it came out. It'd be nice to see some type of IQ system where you put a motion sensor down and you have to look away to see where they're coming from, and then you have to use your teammates to kind of move in on the people that have gotten the tracker to go off. Or these guys, the Brazilian operators, the BOPE, are really into urban warfare, into riots, prison riots, crowd control and such and such. So what if we went completely different, and what if we gave them a grenade launcher with tear gas? Now hear me out. I know you're going to be mad. I already know you're disliking it and calling me an idiot and all that. But just think about it. What better way to clear an entire, makeshift apartment filled with a bunch of dudes decked out with M4 variants and AKs and Glocks and Desert Eagles and revolvers and everything, than to tear gas it, wait for them to kind of expend their ammo or maybe even come out and surrender themselves. And it's a good way to stop people from wasting their lives, from just running in and having a shield in the front and having C4. And it really is a game changer for how assaulting operators enter a room. You punch a door down, throw a flashbang, all you have to do is crouch, or all you have to do is go prone with a box in front of you and the flashbang won't hit you. But if you fire tear gas into there, it pops, goes out for a while, and it doesn't do damage. It's not the poison gas. that smoke has. And yes, it's poison gas. It is not tear gas. Tear gas does not usually kill you. Tear gas is not made to be lethal. But tear gas, you start coughing, it screws up your vision. You can still see, but everything's just like blurry and hazy, kind of like a concussion grenade back in the Call of Duty days. And with that, it gives you a better chance to blow open another door, put more tear gas down, or even just use that to distract them so you can get some of the people scared and have them pop their C4. It would really add a new little element to it to give the attacking team a more, I would say, sneaky advantage. Sneaky known advantage, I guess is a way to say it. You know, just to kind of to scare the enemy into wasting things, you know, because if you all of a sudden get tear gassed and then you see an explosion or you see like the door get broken down, someone's going to pop their C4, someone's going to throw something at that. And that's a waste of a gadget. Like I said, it's really hard with this. You know, I have no clue what type of gadgets they have in mind, so we're just gonna have to wait and see for that. And what I'm gonna show now is just a little concept art image that I found online that people are talking about. Was the FBI operator from back in the day when they were doing their original concept arts. Now, if we look at this, we get a pretty good example of what the Brazilian operator could possibly look like. He has the helmet. He has the get up, he even has the bandana around his leg, so that'd be nice to see somebody with like a bandana wrapped around their face, kind of like a makeshift undercover police agent kind of thing. We also see from his arms, it looks like on the arm that's further away, there's almost like a Day of the Dead, you know, skeleton woman tattoo, and then on the arm right here that's holding the grip of the gun, you see that he has kind of like the Virgin Mary tattoo, which is big in Hispanic cultures. It would be really nice to kind of see, to just flesh out these characters a little bit and give them, you know, tattoos and things like that. Like if I see this, it's gonna make me feel like, you know, he's from the area. It's gonna just immerse me a little bit more, and it's gonna be some, you know, cool little character designs. Some of the operators look kind of I like it when they kind of give operators this little touch of where they're from. I mean, the leaked Japanese operator thing looks fucking fantastic. He has that onigiri mask looking thing on. He's just decked out. I mean, he looks like he's going to pull out a samurai sword and just wreck me. It's crazy. So basically, everything that I listed here is just my thoughts, my speculations on this. I might be right, probably not right. Who knows? You guys can do your research for yourselves. You guys can let me know if I got anything wrong. I would love criticism because it's kind of hard to research these things. Really, my main source of information is a Wikipedia page for about 2 lines of text, and then the rest is just a Vice and a BBC documentary that I watched that was from a couple years ago. So obviously things are outdated now that the times have changed. But give me a like, give me a comment, let me know if you like it, let me know if you don't like it. I'd love to hear from you guys. Sorry, it's been a while since I've done some Rainbow Six stuff. I know you guys have missed it, at least some of my 100 and so subscribers, because, you know, I'm pretty fucking popular right now. I'm just kidding. I'm not that conceited. I'm much more conceited. So with that one, have a beautiful day, you lovely bastards.